Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Uh, in my previous lecture, I have covered the natural and man-made disaster. Today, I will cover identifying the risk. When we'll talk about the risk and identifying the risk, the main is disaster, a devastating event, especially one occurring suddenly and causing great loss of life, damage, or hardship as a flood, airplane crash, or business failure. Nations have passed away and left no traces. Any history gives the naked cause of it. One single simple reason: in all cases they fell because their people were not fit. Risk of varying types and magnitude exist in every workplace on a daily basis. However, some risks are far greater and can be identified and properly addressed in terms of reducing the probability of the risk, where feasible, protecting assets through shifting all or a percentage of the risk and minimizing the potential harm of the risk in a disaster event. Now we will talk about the risk management. First of all, what is risk management? The second, who uses the risk management? The third one, how is risk management used? Risk management in customs, and the last one, how do you use in customs? What is risk management? It will talk about the good management practice, process steps that enable improvement in decision making. The secondly, a logical and systematic approach. The third one, identifying opportunities and then avoiding or minimizing losses. Risk management is the name given to a logical and systematic method of identifying, analyzing, treating and monitoring the risk involved in any activity or process. Risk management is a methodology that helps managers make best use of their available resources. Who uses risk management? Risk management practices are widely used in public and the private sector, covering a wide range of activities or operations. These include the first thing is finance and investment, the second one insurance, the third healthcare, fourth public institutions, and the last one and very important is the government. Effective risk management is a recognized and valued skill. The second one, educational institutions have formal study courses and award degree in risk management. The risk management process is well established international RM processes standard. Risk management is now an integral part of business planning as well as disaster planning, preparedness, response and recovery. How is risk management used? There are 7 steps in the risk management processes. The risk management process steps are a generic guide for any organization regardless of the type of business, activity or functions. The basic process steps are: establish the context. First of all, we have to establish the context. The second one is identifying the risk, and identification of risk is very important. The third one, analyze the risk. We should analyze the risk first and then evaluate the risk. We have to evaluate the risk and then treat the risk. Risk is a dynamic and a subject to constant change. So the process includes continuing monitoring and review and communication and consultations. The risk management process, first of all, establish the context, the strategies and organizational context in which risk management will take place. For example, the nature of your business, the risk inherent in your businesses and your priorities, communication and consult. Defining types of risk, for instance, strategies, risk to the goal and objectives of the organization. The second one, identifying the stakeholders who is involved or affected, past event, future development, monitor and review, and then how likely is the risk event to happen. probability and frequency. What would be the impact, cost or consequences of that event occurring, economic, political, social and environmental. Rank the risk according to management priorities by risk category and rated by likelihood and possible cost or consequences. Determine inherent levels of risk. Develop and implement a plan with specific countermeasures to address the identified risk, and consider priorities, strategies and operational resources, human, financial and technical. Then risk acceptance, low risk and high risk and medium risk as well. Treat the risk, document your risk management plan and describe the reasons behind selecting the risk and for the treatment chosen. Record allocated responsibilities, monitoring or evaluation processes and assumptions on residual risk. And then monitor and review in identifying priorities and treating risk. Organizations make assumptions and decisions based on situations that are subject to change. For example, the business environment, trading pattern or government policies. Risk management policies and decisions must be regularly reviewed. Risk management must monitor activities and processes to determine the accuracy of planning assumption and the effectiveness of the measures taken to treat the risk. Method